Hi, it's Ronnie, and welcome to a Scrappy Thankful YouTube and Instagram hop, sponsored by Jennifer and Rebecca. And all we have to do is scrap something that we're thankful for. Or in my case, it's going to be people, two people, my parents. That is not the photo I plan on staying on this layout. Have y'all ever pulled a picture out and then go put it with papers and trying to decide what you're going to use with it? And then misplace it somewhere in all those papers. Well, that's exactly what I did. And I didn't want to not use any photo since it's supposed to be something you're thankful for. And so I went ahead and got this one out. And I have several almost exact same, and I have scrapped it. So I wasn't really planning on scrapping it. It was going to go in a pocket page. But I'm using it as a placekeeper on my layout. I didn't use autumn colors. That was my first plan. But these colors go much better with the picture I plan on putting on here. And it also goes better with this picture too. Most of the paper I'll be using is that American Crafts paper pad right there, 6x6. And it was all in one piece when I started, but then it just started falling apart. I believe that the glue kind of dried out on it. And because yeah, I've had it a long time. And then I found a couple of scraps that was bigger because I wanted a couple of the layers to go pretty much from the top to the bottom of the layout. And those are from We Are Memory Keepers. So yeah, all these are old papers. I am trying to make them look longer, of course. And a couple of times I did not even need to have to cut two strips because one 6x6 strip would have worked since I am going to put, oh, I think it's a 6x6 piece that is cut in the middle. Well, there it is. That black one, I believe, is going to go there. No, I'm going to use that as a tag. And you will see me changing my mind right here where I'm going to change these two strips into a tag too. And I didn't take them off the page. I thought, I think I could do it without it. So they stayed on the page and I made them into tags. But I'm going to make that black stripe one into it also. And then a different paper I'm going to use as well to go behind the photo. And I'm going to cut it in half to make it look bigger. So yeah, all I'm going to use is 6x6 pieces from now on. Now I really like that black diagonal, and I thought about using it as my big piece behind the photo. But since I matted my photo in the red and the black, I decided that I would just make it as another tag behind the layout. And I am going to add two more. Yeah, two more tags. Yeah, two more tags back there. I'm looking and trying to make sure because I'll decide after I've got more on my layout that I need more tags and I am going to fit them in there. I plan on making that one that is going to be for my journaling. I planned on making it into a tag to it first, but then I decided I wanted to put the word thankful on there as part of my title. So I didn't make it into a tag. However, I'm going to put the thankful on there and then decide it's just too far away from my title. So I will put thankful on there again. I'm not going to pull them off of the piece of paper because I use it's a vellum alpha. And I'm thinking it's Pretty Little Studio. I'll be pulling it out and we'll look and see if it is or not. But I'm thinking it's Pretty Little Studio. And if I tried to pull them up, they would have torn. So I just went ahead and left them on the layout. That green, irregularly lined paper is going to be the one that I'm going to have go all the way across. So I did cut it into three parts so I could stretch it across there. And I really like that paper too. The lines aren't really super straight. They're close, but they're not super straight. And I thought it'd look good going horizontally across there. This is a really cute paper pad, but it's kind of on the old side, like I said, and it's white on the back side, so you don't have two to choose from. You can look at it and not even worry about the other side. That's one thing I do miss about the single-sided paper, because sometimes I do have trouble. And there's those letters, and yeah, I think they're pretty little studio from what it looks like from here. I used a die cut, and it's from Memento, and I cut out those hearts, and I just plan on them going straight down the side of that one journaling paper. And I cut it out twice because I knew that I wanted to cover a little bit more area. And then I'm going to have such a tiny piece left that I'm going to end up putting it on the layout too, just because I thought it'd probably lay around and not get used unless I cut more out to go with it. So it is going to go on the layout too. And that die set comes with two others, I believe. And it's for cards. And the other two are border ones, but I could use them on a layout because, like, I could put them on one side of a tag and it'd look good. I had a white doily, but I wanted black on there too. And the doily that I made into black was from that die that was laying around at the beginning of the video. And I'm not sure where I got that. I know I've had it a while, but I'm not sure where I got it from. I punched that heart out, and that is a Stampin' Up, I believe. Yeah, Stampin' Up punch. And I punched it out, and then I went ahead and fussy cut around the outside in black so that I'd have the black to lay on top of those hearts. I will move that. I mean, I cut the extra black so that it would go on top of the hearts and look like it was part of that. I will move it, put it somewhere else, but by the end of the layout, I'll put it back where I had it to start with. That chevron strip was at the top of one of the papers, and I just cut it off, and I'm using it kind of like an arrow going straight down, and then it's going to leave like a little gap that I don't care a whole lot for. So I am going to go ahead and add another tag. I mean, if you look at it now, it don't look like so much of a gap, but it did when I was looking at it then. And I'm not going to make it as wide. I think it's going to be 1.5 inches wide. And I'm going to use my, well, it's a triple tag punch that I got at Hobby Lobby. I know it's a Hobby Lobby brand, but I can't think of what it is. I don't think it actually says Memento on it. Oh, Paper Studio. That's what I believe it is. And it will cut out the top of your tag in the 3 different sizes. And I am using the exact same reinforcer, well, scrap of paper for the reinforcer to go on all the tags so that will kind of coordinate them. And it's going to go from the top all the way down to the bottom, and well, right at the bottom of that chevron piece. And I really like that little chevron piece too. I either had it in the paper pad and used both sheets of it at one time or other, or it was just on the border of one of the papers and they didn't make a paper out of it. But I looked, I was wanting more of it. I looked, and that was all I had. And like I said, that heart is not going to stay there. I kind of like it there, but I kept thinking about where I had it to start with, and decided it had to go back. That's all there was to it. It had to go back. I pulled out 2 different Maggie Holmes gold letters, and I thought about using them both. And I really considered it, but the one over there on the left-hand side, I don't know if they've kind of turned or what, but I used to think they matched the other ones. They're not matching as good anymore. So they're not going to be a part of my title after all. Um, my doilies are just going to go on the bottom left-hand corner of my photo. And I am putting it up on foam tape, but I want to put some flowers in the left-hand corner of the photo. And the other side, it's kind of like a last minute decision what I do there, though. Now, looking at my tags, I decided that they were a little bit too close to the top of the paper to put some twine through them and having them stick up. So I decided just to run one piece through all of them. And as I mentioned before, I was going to add another tag later. So I will have to clip it in the middle. Well, maybe towards the end, but I will have to clip it and hide part of that underneath the last tag to make it look like it'd been there all along. And while I'm fussing with my layout and putting odds and ends on there, at the moment, hearts, I want to mention that down there below will be the links to all the others that are in the hop, and that the hop is hosted by Jennifer and Rebecca, and their links will be down there too. Now, I don't know if they wanted you to be say that you're thankful for something that you have right at this moment, but I'm thankful for the memories I have of my parents and how blessed I was to have them for as long as I did. And so I wanted to make the page about them. Ran across their photo when I was looking for one to use, and I decided to go ahead and use it. Well, you see how that worked out. But I will find it and I will put it on this layout. But this one works for now. I was looking at this and decided that I needed something a little bit shorter right there. That was kind of a big gap for that tag. And I put a tab instead, and I backed it in the black. And I also had pulled out some, I'm trying to think, oh, maybe they're Pink Fresh, that label that says, remember it's a puffy label. And the only one on there I wanted to use was the word remember because, as I said, the memories that I have. And of course, this is where I bring in that other tag. I decided I needed just a little more there. Y'all know me and more. I always want something else. That place was such a big area with nothing. I had to start filling it in. And I think I did a good job of camouflaging that I cut that string in half. And everything's working out better, including the heart that's over on the left now, instead of up there with that cluster that is there now. I did use a banner die for this little banner, and it's one that embosses, so it has a heart embossed and kind of like a vertical banner behind the heart. And I looked at it and I thought those little hearts would probably fit perfect in there, even though it's debossed, it's not embossed. I don't know if I said embossed earlier or not, but it's debossed. So I just set the little heart in there. And I am still going to add a couple of more things up there and move the word remember plus that tag because looking at it, I just wasn't quite happy with it yet. There's a lot of indecision on this layout. I cut out some greenery to go next to the photo, and it's the same color as my background there, only it had a design on it. I can't remember what it was. It was in white. I think it was like white flowers that was just the outline. And I used it for the leaves. And then I'm also going to use my little flower punch and punch out flowers in a minute to go on there. I used one of my tiny bows, even though this one is the bigger one of the tiny bows, and put a bow on there. And I will be putting a heart on there too. The little flowers are each going to get a little dot in the center that's black. I know I cannot think of a single flower that has a black center, but it's called Creative License. It went with my layout, so I went ahead and used the black. The holly branch from, no, I think it's pine branch from Martha Stewart is getting tucked in there too, just to make it a little bit fuller. And I think I'm about done with it now. Oh, except for that little heart that I'm putting in the center there. Well, it's one of the bigger ones on the punch. And here's where I'm pulling all that apart and moving everything around because I just wasn't happy with it. And I'm going to just keep at it until I am. These are from Heidi Swap, and they are puffy stickers. And let me tell you, they are old too. That heart with the gold, it actually broke, literally broke. The plastic is so old that it cracked and broke. So I just used my smash pen and colored the foam that's underneath there. And you really can't tell it. I'm looking at it right now, and you cannot tell it other than it's not quite as shiny as the other black. But it's about time I used it on a layout. The thankful is way up there on the left, and I kept thinking that just looks so far away to go with my title. So I did make the banner and put it there, and I used the letterbox alphas from Echo Park. And I do think I'm getting close to getting done. I'm just putting my journaling on there, saying how thankful I am that I had my parents. And oh, here, here is where I put arrow on because I kept looking at that puffy sticker sheet and thinking I needed to use more of them because they are kind of old, and put them on there. There is gold splatter on this layout. I'm not sure when I did it, but I think I accidentally deleted it. And I also punched out another heart to go over the top of that one that's on the left that kept getting moved around so that I wouldn't have anything on top of it and it would be plain because I was liking the plain look. And so yeah, that's it. That's my layout. If you leave a comment down there below, I'll try to get back with you. And if you like the video and hit a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. And if you are not subscribed to my channel, I would love to have you subscribe. And those of you already are, thank you so much. But don't forget that down there are the links to everybody else that's in the hop. I'm sure the feed from YouTube was full of the thumbnail that we will be using. But it is always nice to double check on the list down there just in case you're not subscribed to somebody and finding somebody new to subscribe to. But I hope you all have a happy, scrappy week. Take care and stay safe. Bye.